Hi folks, CJ Adams here. We are live at J&B Tackle for our seminar every Thursday night at 7. If you haven't tuned in yet, tell your neighbors and friends to tune in because we have a few. There he is.
I made it.
Are you golfing?
It's such a nice day. I thought I'd liven it up a little bit, and since we're talking about Squid,
Well,
wear
I started
a
without
bright
you.
color. You started.
I started without you.
You're
I have my
very
Linux stump grinding shirt on.
Oh.
Good friend of ours.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, give him a little plug there.
Linux stump grinding, Jeff
If you have a
Ross.
stump you want to get rid of, there's only one place to go and use, and it's
Atlantic stump grinding.
Atlantic stump grinding. Yeah,
He's the best.
Yeah, he's the best out there. We've been using him for years. Where are they located?
He's a hell of a fisherman too. We fish with him quite a bit, but Atlantic stump grinding. Anyways,
We try to be honest here, you know,
we
balanced and unafraid, like Fox News, you know. But anyhow, yeah. What did you tell them we're talking about Squid?
not yet. I was waiting on you, and you barged in.
No.
But,
We're talking about Squid. But before we do,
hey,
I just want to thank you. You did a great job today. We hauled the boat. We hauled the boat yesterday. It's at Knowing Shipyard for our yearly haul out, and we got a lot done today.
For our first day. Yeah, we had a nice day. We had a nice weather day,
We had a beautiful
which was good.
day.
So.
Everybody was in good spirits because of the weather. Didn't have to use the whip today.
Most of the boat is ready for a fresh coat of compounded wax.
Yeah, we got to compound it tomorrow.
Yep.
Put 2-3 coats of wax on it. You know,
our usual maintenance. You know,
we keep the thing superb, as you know. For those who haven't fished with us, you know, clean, fast, and comfortable.
we look forward to having a relatively quick job this spring.
Yeah,
and
we're going to be in and out.
We just wrapped up a seal watch. For those of you that don't know,
Oh, a lot of seals. Seals were thick. We were on them.
we did get the seals. That was a really nice day too. A little chilly, but
Yeah.
as you know, past couple days are warmer. Let's hope the weather stays warm and warms up that water temperature so we can go catch these. This is what we're targeting first. For those of you that don't know, squid, they show up anywhere between, depending on the water temperature, April through the month of May, and then as the water temperature increases, the other fish come in and chase the squid off.
And then they disperse.
Yeah, so we are anticipating, we have a couple of hot tips out there. We hope that when these squid do show up, a couple of guys on the inside might fill us in so we can get on the grounds a little sooner than later. But last year we unfortunately did miss it because of COVID. We weren't able to get on
I got my second shot today, by
Oh,
the way.
good for you.
Did you get your test results? I know you got tested the other day.
I get them back all the time. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. Wherever some wood is, negative every time.
That's glass.
No, this is wood.
Is it really? Let me look.
Show the camera. Is this wood, guys?
Yeah, I guess it is wood.
Knock on wood, I've had negative results, which is good. But good for you.
Yes, and I feel pretty good. I have a headache.
Do you?
Other than that, I feel good.
Okay.
I feel good. I'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Good.
Like I'm ready to go now.
That being said,
Okay, let's
the squid, we are waiting for the water temperature to warm up a little bit, and they start showing up, but they are relatively a cooler water fish for the species in our area. Now, the species that we target and the species that you guys are catching, we're catching, this is
and the species you want to eat.
The species you want to eat. Both species are edible, but there are 2 species in these local waters. The lalago is right here. There's a couple ways to pronounce it. I pronounce it lalago. I've heard laligo.
Yeah, you hear all right.
So, you know, don't quote me on pronunciation, but that's just how I was.
These are the ones inshore. These are the ones you see when the bluefish are spitting up and everything, and the striped bass and everything when they cough one up. That's the kind, and that's what we're targeting. Those are the ones that are good to eat.
Those are in your local restaurants when you order a plate of calamari.
30 years ago, nobody ate them really.
No,
I mean,
it was
a wasted species of fish. It was bait. It was bait fish. But now it's as popular as can be, and I'm amazed at the amount of people we take out squid fishing.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm blown away.
It's a lot of fun. I mean, us as crew, we can't wait to get out there and do it ourselves. It's almost it's competitive.
It's a little challenging.
It is.
There are some secrets to it, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Before you do that, tell them about the second species of fish.
So the
which is
Ilex.
offshore.
Ilex are an offshore squid. We don't see them in the common waters of, let's say, Long Island Sound. They are off in the deeper water that
Bigger squid.
Let's just use, for example,
More aggressive.
They live with the tuna fish. We'll use that as an example. So further, like Greg said, very aggressive. If you put a bait down out tuna fishing and then there's the squid around the ilex, they will destroy your bait. Sometimes they're a nuisance. Now, I've heard they are edible from a couple guys that work on draggers, but you got to take care of them, clean them up really quickly, and eat them as fresh as can be.
They're a little tougher.
Yeah, they're thicker.
They're a thicker squid.
Much more aggressive, and I'm sure if the ilex ever found the lolligos,
They'd eat them.
They'd
eat them.
You wouldn't have any lolligos left. I think
Believe
that's
me.
why the lolligos come way in short to get the heck away from those guys. But they're similar looking. I mean, squid looks like a squid, but the ilex are a little different color, a little more browner at times. But aggressive is the key word. Now, not saying lolligos don't get aggressive, because when they're feeding, they do. As most of you guys know, and if you haven't fished with us for the squid, you'll see it hopefully this spring. It's very popular. It's can be tricky at times. You can go out one night and knock the crap out of them, and you can go out the very next night, same conditions, and they might have moved a little bit. And the colors change as well. We're going to show you a couple of squid jigs. The colors vary from night to night, whether it may be water clarity, moon, no moon. We're still trying to figure out what a squid does and what they think, but Greg's going to draw an example. This is going to be an example of the boat, so to say. I know he didn't go to art school, but he's going to do the best he can. He did go, I think he went to some sort of boating school, because he's pretty good at that, but art school will...
Not bad.
Not bad.
One of the secrets to squid fishing is lights. They're attracted to the lights. The old adage, the boat with the most lights wins. There's no question about it. On the Black Hawk, we have got lights. We've got Durability lights. We've got sodium lights. We've got underwater lights. But anyhow, if this is a top view looking down on the boat.
So pretend you're in the sky. You're looking at the boat.
You're looking at the boat. When we put all the lights on, and we have a lot of them, you literally have like a halo around the boat like this, and it's completely lit up. Okay. Some of our customers are so into this that they bring their own light, and there's no question it makes a difference. And on the rail, they'll attach their light, which is a big light, 110 light,
yeah.
And it really lights up their area like this.
And they'll plug into our power.
They'll plug into our power.
Or bring batteries.
And we encourage it. We got plenty of power. I got 2 generators, so it's not a problem. But you have to have a lot of lights. That's the secret to it. Now, once you get the lights, then you have to have the right tackle, which you can.
So the object of squid fishing, you know, I'm no squid master, but we've done it enough to kind of get a little handle on it. This is what we tie up.
How long do you have to squid fish to become a squid master?
You know, I don't really know. I think this is
I think you're pretty good at it.
I'm okay from time to time, but this is the standard rig I use, and I see a lot of guys that come on the boat and use this as well. So you got to mention this is fluorocarbon. All right, the fluorocarbon makes a big difference.
Fluorocarbon makes a difference.
And
I can't emphasize that enough.
Our first year, really just getting into it, we started with a little bit of mono. We tried out everything, and we noticed right away fluorocarbon makes a huge difference. So
and light fluorocarbon, we're using on most nights 12,
10 even.
You know,
I mean,
10,
we'd
12.
like to use even 8 if you know what you're doing. But then you're talking light line, and you're talking soft hook sets, and we're going to go over that. But this is the standard rig that we tie on, let's just say our rental rods, if you come fishing with us, or if somebody needs a rig tied. 2 squid jigs, okay? Now, if you like to do it some other way, this is, like Greg and I say all the time, this is our opinion.
We're not saying this is the only way to do it. This is just how we do it, and it's been very successful for us.
I have seen guys that put 3, 4, 5 squid rigs on the hook, but then, man, if you get a tangle, as most of you know, with somebody else, you get 4 or 5 rigs on there. You're spending 4 or 5 extra minutes untangling. So we like to stick to 2. These little squid jigs, I don't know if you can see. You can probably see better on this one. They're almost keeled. There's a little weight there.
This one here has got a lead keel on it. You see it?
And
so this is a sinking lure. I mean, this sinks. Other ones don't have that; they float.
Now
you can put the floating ones on the rig.
This
it's
one,
not going to float.
This one has a very, very, very tiny keel. And this is a floating one, so it balances itself out. This one's a sinking and floating. And now, they make all sorts of squid jigs. For my personal preference. I like to go with Yozuri, and I know you carry them.
They're the best. They're the best.
But the colors do matter. So
for those of you who have never done this, there's no bait on this. Okay, I know this is is elementary, but for those who have never done it, there's no bait on this. There's sharp hooks on the bottom of it. You can see it's a double hook setup, and what they do is they come up and they grab it and they get hooked on it. Okay,
now
so you don't have to put bait on it or anything.
When
like
they
that.
grab it, this was the toughest to explain to customers. They don't just climb on like a porgy or sea bass where they smack the bait. You feel it, you set the hook, whole 9 yards. These almost feel like a wet rag or a
piece of seaweed,
piece of paper towel. It's like they're just hanging on. And when you feel that, you got to give them a little, a gradual. And I'll show you with the rod real quick. We have a rod rigged up, not with the jig, but this is an ideal squid rod and reel. Okay, we're using light stuff. You don't need the heavy giant reels that you see for bottom fishing and stuff.
You can get away with freshwater gear.
This is a trout rod and reel setup for the most part. I mean, I use my ultralight, my 4-foot ultralight, and I have a fun time with it. But you need a soft action tip, and you want it to bend a little bit. I mean, a squid weighs what? A quarter of a pound, sometimes a half. So you got to understand something. You need a soft tip to really feel them when that little rag.
I catch the big ones.
Well, they do get big, and we're gonna go. We do catch some of the big ones. The big ones now they will pull a little bit, especially when you get two.
Yeah, it feels
12,
like
14, 16 inch.
It feels like 2 pieces of paper
No, they
instead
will
of just
pull.
one.
So what
You're not in this for the fight, believe me. Okay, you're not in it for the fight, but it is competitive because believe you me, how you move that thing, how you jig it, the color, the depth on how you get this down. We're fishing in anywhere from maybe 20, 25 feet to maybe 60. That's it. But those to get it to the right depth. I mean, and it's not hard to do.
No.
Some people have a hard time with it. They put it on the bottom, they hang it up, or they're catching sea bass on these things on the bottom at night.
I personally, this is how I learned myself to do it. I'd let this rig all the way to the bottom in whatever water depth we're fishing. Then I work it up, okay? Reel up a turn or two. And slowly, gradually lift the rod, okay? You give it a little twitch, a little action, let it back down slowly. And as you're coming up or coming down, you start to feel something. And when you feel that little weight there, you give them a little shot and you reel. You got to go slow there. You can't crank them all the way to hell because they're going to pull right off. Squids, they're soft and they're grabbing with tentacles. So when they grab onto this, some do get it pretty good, but sometimes they're only hanging on by one of their little tentacles.
One little tentacle.
And guys will get them up, and you'll see the good guys when they do see them at the surface, and you're watching. You can see, and like Greg said, this is all lit up. So you see your squid when they're coming up off the bottom, and when the good guys that see them that do it competitively and for the food, and they have different buckets set up for sizes, they see the squid, they get it in quick as can be. I don't know how they do it, but you do lose quite a few if you're, it takes a few minutes to get used to that. We have some guys that'll come out and catch a 4 or 5 gallon bucket full of squid, and then you'll have a couple guys next to them that struggle to catch a dozen.
You'll get a count like that the guy will catch 100, 125 of nice stuff. They're saving all the small ones to eat, and the big ones, a lot of them save for bait and stuff. But like CJ said, you get a guy that's right next to him, right over here, and he struggled to catch 6 or 8. And it's just this. It's like anything. It's talent. There's no question about it. We take out a lot of our better customers that have never done this before, and they really like it. I mean, look at Bruce. Bruce is one of our better customers.
Yeah.
Man, because it's competitive to try to slaughter him.
We have a couple customers that are watching us now probably, and she'll be the first to tell you she's terrible at it. But she loves it because it's fun. Catching those things are fun, and they're good to eat.
And they're good to eat. That's another thing.
A lot of times we've noticed that the squid will almost be on this outside edge too, a little bit. Right on the edge of the light, right where it starts to fade off in the darker.
A lot of guys, I hate to say this, but a lot of guys will cast.
They'll flip it out.
They'll flip it out.
Yeah, they won't go overhand, but they'll flip it.
They'll flip the rig out in here
and work it
in
back
the dark. And then they work it back into the light.
Now, what's he mean by that? So when you work it back, let it hit the bottom, jig it, take a couple of turns, jig it, take a couple of turns. That's called working it back to you.
Try to find that that section of water in the water column of where you're getting most of the bites.
We have a lot of guys in our customers as well. They might not know who you are from Adam, but if somebody says, "Hey, where'd you get that squid from?" Everybody's, I got him in 15 feet. That one 10 feet. So we get an idea of where they're biting. And
A lot of
tries
times,
to help each other
if it's
out.
good, you'll see them scooting in and out of here, all night long. I mean, you'll see a bunch of them. When it's good, it's good.
I've personally noticed the ones that come up on the surface, right on the surface, the top, that are chewing on some little spearing. They're tough to catch because they're chasing other stuff. The ones we get going as you start to catch more are a little deeper, I'd say. But do we have a question, Randy?
Yes, we do. Tony wants to know if there's a size or possession limit on the squid. We didn't
As far as I know, there's no size limit.
No size,
and
no
there's
limit.
no possession. No possession limit.
No.
So you could fill up garbage bags, buckets, cars, whatever you want to do. But I'm sure, like everything else, you'll start to realize that there's squid around, and
Yeah.
you'll have a 10-inch
And I also
spot.
I got a message that says George Zowers. It says to Randy, please tell CJ and Captain Greg that he says hi.
Hi, George.
Zowers
Hi,
is
George. How you doing?
George is getting ready for
specifically
trout
asking me to tell you guys. so
George, we're thinking of
he
you.
hopes
buddy.
all is well too. to you
George,
guys.
I saw your trout rod set up. You look like you're ready to go. April 1st, I think you said you can go. So I wish you luck.
We got your spot saved for you on the boat. Okay, we're gonna put some new. I think we're gonna put some new non-skid there because you're.
He wears it out.
You wear it out walking back and forth and flopping them fish on. So
George fishes us quite a bit. For those of you who don't know, really good guy.
he's from New Jersey.
Yep. But hi,
Jersey-
George. We
Jersey
look forward to
George.
seeing you soon. So this rod and reel right here, this is the reel itself, Shimano reel. It's around $100. This rod I just happened to grab. It's $100. So this rod and reel setup is a couple $100. But like I said, I use my ultralight. This is where you can get away, and we don't like to say this often, where you can probably go to Walmart and buy a $20 or $30 rod and reel
And get away with it.
and get away with it. The only case, the only time we'll probably say that. It's a very inexpensive fishery to have the right tackle to do it. I'm using a 4-foot rod, and I just like to have fun with it because it's a good time. But some
Davey-
guys take it very serious.
Davey said he missed the date. When are we going to start going out?
We don't know exactly. We're going to probably try the end of April. We might be a little bit early, but we're going to try. We've got some good connections as to where they, when they come in, and people are going to keep us informed. A few draggers working outside of us, and as soon as we start seeing, we've got some contacts at the Millstone Power Plant. When they start seeing them in the screens, they pull in so much water at Millstone. When they start seeing them in the screens there, we're going to get the word, and we're going to hopefully start towards the end of April.
It's a tough species to get a grasp on it when they actually show up. So
I think this year, other than the last few years we've been doing it, we waited until we knew they were there and everyone was catching them, and then we dove into it. This year here, we're going to try to set the market.
Yeah. And I think it'll be successful
Yes.
with some of the intel we have, and we'll obviously hope for the best like we do every trip, and hopefully get them coming pretty good. I know we take a little bit of a ride. We're going to try a couple different spots too, and see what happens.
Now they when they come on board, they let go with their ink. Okay, for those of you who don't know, it is a messy fishery. The boat can be black at the end of the night. We found out that bleach.
A little bit of bleach
a
and
little
some
bit
water,
of bleach in
yeah,
the water. What
not
we
much.
do is we have containers, little spray containers, and we station them all around the boat, and we hope the customers can help us too. Some of the squid you can keep under control a little bit, but it's a crapshoot. When you bring them on board, they could just ink everybody,
What I like to do is when you get the squid up, you don't even have to touch him. In all reality, when you get him up in your hand, he's hanging off this squid jig. All you do, you got a bucket at your feet. Turn the squid jig upside down. He falls off right in the bucket. You don't even have to touch him. You're just making this motion. But they will ink, and we've had guys get covered. I've been covered. The boat obviously gets covered, but we
I
try
was
and
on the
keep
way
up on it.
down, not last year, but the year before.
Oh.
I was on the way down just to get my cheeseburger down there, and the guy flipped the thing over at the same time. I walked around the corner and splat! Yeah, that took me 15 minutes to get clean.
The one benefit to us, and I can't speak for any other boats, we do clean squid as well. So if you get 25, 30 squid that you want to have cleaned for dinner that night, I know we have a lot of guys that take them for bait, but myself, Randy, whoever's working, we learned how to clean them successfully, efficiently, and it's like anything else. It's top of the line quality food grade when we're done with them.
You like eating the squid, right, Randy?
Yes, they're delicious.
How about Heather? Does she like it?
Not so much, but she did eat them.
How about the boys?
They did like them actually.
Yeah, they are good.
Yeah,
And like I said, years
kids
ago it was considered bait, but now it's as popular as can be. It's
just
it really
don't
is fun.
overcook it. You really got to cook it.
Oh, you don't want to overcook it. No, you cook it, it turns into leather.
There's
There's some secrets to doing that. Hopefully, we're gonna our last couple of seminars we're gonna do on cooking, and we'll hopefully do some squid and we'll show you how. But you really don't want to overcook it.
I want to say one thing. I know we showed you the Yozuri squid jigs. They seem to work the best in our waters. We see a lot of these. It's a tsunami squid rig, and they're all the same size, one color. I personally noticed they don't really work the best. This is a sabiki rig, they call it. But I see a lot of guys that bring this stuff, and we try and shy away from it because it sometimes doesn't work all that well. The Yozuri rigs, if you can find them, they are the best ones to go with.
Okay, I'll look at it.
We have a question.
We have a question
It's
on
from,
blackfish from the guy.
What was his name?
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah, we're going to get to it.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Let me answer Michael's question.
Go ahead. What is the question?
It was springtime blackfish.
And it was summertime. What depth? Like where to find them in the summer?
I thought it was spring.
He said summertime.
Question from Michael. Summertime blackfish, and how deep and where to target them?
Well, Michael, the problem is with the summertime blackfish, and you can catch them, don't get me wrong. They are in anywhere from, that I've noticed, this is my opinion, 30, 40 feet, a little shallower, but you got to realize that time of year, there's a lot of porgies and there's a lot of sea bass. So you go through a lot of bait, and you might catch a lot of variety of fish. So they're a little more difficult to catch, especially in the warm summer months, because the other fish get to your bait so fast. But anywhere from 10 to 40 feet, I've noticed. Now, they may be in deeper water. I can't be certain.
We're not really fishing for them at that time of the year.
I personally wish they would do away with the summer season because it takes away from our fall season. When they open, there's not a lot of states, I don't believe, that do that summer season. Connecticut is one of the states that do it, and I wish they would take it away because you don't catch a lot. It's not open very long, but they take off the back end of the season for us in the fall, which is sometimes dynamite when they close it for us. And we wish they would, do something about that. But
to answer that, Michael, I've seen blackfish in the summertime around the dock in 2 feet of water. Eating the
mussels and stuff.
Eating the mussels and stuff, getting the shrimp and stuff, and you look at them. I had one. This is a few years ago when I was sailing out of Abbott's there, But I had a pet that I used to bring food down, and it would wait under the lights in the dark, and I fed the thing, but just to watch it how it was feeding and everything. But they can be in real shallow water as long as that water's warm.
I hope that answers your question, Michael.
Thank you for the question, Michael. We appreciate it. Sorry we didn't get it during the blackfish seminar.
Yeah, we do apologize for that. We did have a lot.
What else can we talk about here?
There are a couple other reels, and they do carry them at J&B. These are a lot less expensive than the one I showed you. One of these is...
What's that?
That's a Penn Fierce. Is that the Fierce? That's the Penn Fierce.
Yep.
That relatively retails for $70, $80 at the store. Now, you might be able to get them cheaper where you shop. I don't know. This is a Penn Pursuit. Another cheaper reel, but for what we're doing as far as the squid, like we said, you can get away with this small freshwater stuff. The Pursuit ranges, I think, anywhere from $40 to $50. So you don't have to spend an arm and a leg on some of the other equipment that we've talked about for the other variety of species that we fish for. Relatively inexpensive.
Yeah, if you have a trout rod, it probably be George just fine.
Yeah, freshwater bass rod, something like that. We encourage it. Just make sure you're going to get fluorocarbon for that, for your leaders.
The leaders, not the whole.
Yeah, you don't want to spool up your reel.
Yeah, you don't want to spool up the reel.
No, we've seen that, and guys spend $150 in fluorocarbon. Yeah, don't do that. Just your leader material. Anywhere from 8-pound test to 15-pound test. I'd use that broad average there.
If you wanna see what a squid trip is like, not last year because of COVID, but the year before, my good friend Jerry Bethge, one of the editors of Outdoor Life magazine.
That's right. He did come out.
They came on board the boat, and they did an article on the Black Hawk and squid fishing, and it was a really, really good article. I'm not a computer guy, but I guess you go on their Outdoor Life website, and punch in whatever squid trip or whatever. But we had a ton of squid, and you really get an idea of what it's all about. I mean, they had some great pictures on there. It was a foggy night, and with the
I was there. I remember being there.
You were on there?
Yeah, I remember being
with
there.
With the lights reflecting off the fog,
Yeah.
it was really kind of eerie a little bit, and we had a boatload of people. I think we were taking 40 people at the time.
Was it? Yeah, I think
40,
40 or
yeah.
50. I can't remember what it was.
But everybody caught the living heck out of them. But it was a really, really good article in Outdoor Life. So if you really want to see some nice pictures and read a good article, check it out, Outdoor Life. Thank you, Jerry. Jerry's a good friend of mine. I've been hunting and fishing with him for a long time. He's probably watching this now. So
There's a couple different ways that we target them. I mean, you can drift for them. Ideally, we'd like to anchor on them, but that's all based on tide conditions.
That's a good.
Oh, someone just posted it. They must have found the link already.
Oh,
You
they
got the
found it.
link?
So
Wow.
hopefully, I think other people can see
Boy,
that.
they're a hell of a lot better at a computer than I am. It'd take me 3 hours.
Thank you for posting that, Tony.
Yeah, thank you. Who posted it, Tony?
Tony Nicoletti. I
Thank you,
Oh,
Tony.
that's Tony. We had Tony down.
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Tony.
yeah.
Thank
Is
you,
that
Tony.
him?
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't know his last
good
name.
buddy of ours.
Yeah.
Back to the drifting and anchoring. At times the current is a little too strong for these squids, so
Good point, man. You're on top of your game. I'm trying to think of things, and that's,
what are they? What is it? Dot the T's and cross the I's?
Yeah, no, you're dotting them. You're dotting
Is
them.
it dot the T's and cross the I's, or dot the I's and cross
Dot the I's,
T's?
cross the T's, but you're hitting them.
But I'm
You're-
hitting them, all right.
You're hitting it out of the park again tonight.
Anyways,
Yeah.
as
Stuff I don't think about.
as the tide starts to
I'm
move,
just not there like you are. You're on the deck and you get all these things. I mean, God, you're razor sharp, man.
where are you? You're down usually catching the damn things, and
Yeah.
I'm getting covered. And then I got to clean them for him at the end of the day. Hey, CJ, can you clean these 50 for me? As we're trying to clean up and get the heck out of there. But anyways,
He always cleans mine at the end.
we're using light sinkers for this stuff, guys. I know everybody shows up thinking that they're porgy fishing.
No.
We got to use
1 ounce, 2 ounce.
Yeah, we're using as light as can be, and you got to
It-
judge that off the current. And-
The current is a big thing. What we usually do when we get there is we're usually there in the daylight, okay, and we'll make a couple drifts. We'll look around with the machine.
we assess on where they might end up,
and where they
be.
might be. We look on the bottom at drop offs and this and that, and if we drift and we catch a bunch of them during the daytime, generally speaking, not all the time, but generally speaking, we try to anchor up on that, and we're probably going to catch them a lot better at night. Once we get the lights out.
Sometimes they will move, obviously with the current and
That
tide.
said, how you anchor, I mean, when we anchor, and let's just say here's the front of the boat, we're anchored up here, okay? If the tide's running hard, which we don't like, a lot of times we'll have to drift at night because the tide will be going so hard this way that all the lines are going back like this, and it's kind of hard, okay? So if something like that, we will drift at night. But as soon as that tide lets go, as soon as we can get away and have them lines starting to go out straight all around the boat, then we'll anchor up on where we've been catching them. Okay?
It's and every night is different. I don't care if the conditions are the same. Every single night is different. It's neat to try and figure out
Colors
what they're
that they
doing.
like one night, they don't even bite the next night. I mean, you've got the moon, you've got conditions, you got sea conditions. I mean, it all comes into play.
So if you're going to buy yourself some squid jigs, make sure you get a variety of them because you never know what they're gonna bite on. And I know we have quite a few. I know you bought quite a few last year just to make sure we have them all for the rental rods.
I bought. You don't want to know what I bought. I bought a ton.
I don't think Southern has anything left. I think you
I
bought them all.
wiped it out. I wiped the wholesale right out.
we needed
and we
them.
didn't even use them last year because of COVID.
Because of COVID.
I mean, we only went a couple of times and that was it.
We plan on
So
using them this year,
we're going to use them this year in spades.
and we look forward to seeing you guys out there. We hope anyways. Do we have any other questions, Randy?
Anything else?
No,
there, Randy?
Tracy said, "What's up, fellas?"
Hi, Tracy. How are you?
How you doing, Tracy?
I think that was it for questions.
Okay.
Tracy, should I tell him the bass thing about the bass at the dock with the blood? No, I guess not.
It's at the top of the blood.
You know what I'm talking about?
I can only imagine. No. Oh yes, I
I'm
do.
sure Tracy does.
Yes,
that.
I do.
Tracy
Sorry,
does.
that was
Tracy.
no, that was a good one. That was good.
was-
It was a joke, but
It was a
came
joke. He's
out
glad I
perfectly.
showed up, right, Tracy?
Came out perfectly. We won't go there.
Yeah, that
But,
was funny.
Anyways, we look forward to seeing you guys. I don't know what our topic will be next week, but we'll.
We're gonna we'll probably do a live Facebook at the boat to let you know those who haven't seen us working on the boat or seen the boat out on the water or whatever. We'll do a little Facebook maybe tomorrow. It's a nice day, and we'll bring everybody up to speed on that. We got the whole crew down there from Captain Matt and Glenn and Randy, myself, CJ.
trying to get it done and get it back.
Trying to get it done, and it's not a lot of work, but it's still work.
And like we said, there are some seals around, so when we do get it back in, if you or your group of people are interested in a seal watch, we are doing those as well through the month of April until they basically go away too.
Fundraisers too, if you have a organization. I mean, that was what we did with the last one. Most of the seal watches,
I think all of our seal
all of
watches
them
are
are just
fundraisers.
fundraisers.
correct?
We take a little bit of the money just to pay for the fuel, and the rest goes to the particular fund. So
Mm-hmm.
you can keep that in mind if you want to do that, or a sunset cruise or something like that. So our way of kind of giving back.
We don't
Giving back
always
to the
fish. We
community.
do a little more than just that, but
Yep.
primarily fishing. But we will do other stuff as well. And we look forward to seeing everybody out there.
Don't you love it when the guy comes on the boat and the first thing you see is this?
He's got it backwards.
He's got it backwards.
Yeah, guys, if you're gonna
And you try to tell him it's backwards. He says, "No, it isn't. No, it's not backwards."
If you're
Yeah, well,
gonna-
it is backwards.
if you're gonna fish with the spinning rod and reel, hold it the right way.
Yeah.
Not like this. I don't even know. I can't.
And I always tell people that the handles are easy to interchange. So if you want the handle on the other side, you can
hold
easily-
it the right
easily
way.
put it on the
All
other
you gotta
side.
do is put it on this side.
We
right
see it
there.
all the
But
time.
they still
we get all
fish them upside
different.
down.
We get all different varieties of talent. Believe me, we got some guys that tape the hands. I used to box. Tape the hands, put the mouthpiece in, and boy, bring it on. And we got other people that
But we're here to help those.
I don't know
people.
how they catch them.
We're here to help
I don't know
those.
how they catch them, but we try.
We do. We do.
Okay, from J&B Tackle, my dear friend C.J. Adams,
And my dearest friend, Greg DeBrule.
and what's his name again?
The camera guy. I don't
The
know.
camera boy, Randy Harris, my son-in-law, on the camera as usual. He doesn't get any of the. He doesn't get. Hey, why don't you turn it around so they can see you?
You need a haircut.
Yeah, you need a haircut.
I do need a haircut. my son just got one tonight. I'm kind of jealous.
Holy God, look at
I
that!
should probably get one too. Yeah.
Looks like it just come out of some
Came out of the woods.
wood someplace.
Yeah. Well, at least my son got a haircut.
The Unabomber, man. Well, there he is. He's the cameraman.
You need that for winter work.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, folks, thank you very much. Okay, stay tuned. We'll show you a little seminar, a little
Little
Facebook,
boat work, something like
and
that.
go to Outdoor Life and see what a squid trip is all about. Okay, take care. We'll see you next week. Thank you.